Welcome back to the Business Book Club.
Great to be back.
Today, we're tackling a real heavyweight. It's a management classic, but it's disguised almost as this thrilling novel.
You mean the goal, a process of ongoing improvement.
Exactly, by Eliyahu Goldratt and Jeff Cox. First out in '84, revised in 2004. And yeah, it's not your typical, dry business textbook.
No, not at all. It really draws you in. You're right there with the main character, this plant manager, Alex Rogo.
And he's in deep trouble, right? The setup is pretty dramatic.
Oh, absolutely. He gets this ultimatum, turn the whole struggling plant around in 3 months. 3 months. Or it gets shut down.
Wow. And that means, what, 600 jobs gone, plus his career pretty much ruined?
Exactly. It's high stakes. And the weird thing is, the plant looks modern. It's got robots, skilled people, but it's just chaos.
Late shipments, inventory piled up everywhere, profits tanking.
Right. And he's tried all the standard stuff, cutting costs, pushing everyone for efficiency, whatever that means in that context.
But it's only making things worse. It really puts you in his headspace, that feeling of like, what do I even do here?
Yeah, that desperation.
Yeah.
How do you fix something so complex when everything you think should work just doesn't?
And that's where Jonah comes in, the sort of mysterious mentor figure.
Right. His old physics professor, I think. And Jonah doesn't just give him answers. He starts by questioning everything Alex thinks he knows.
Starting with, what is productivity? Such a basic question, but Alex kind of fumbles it.
Well, yeah, because the company just has formulas. But Jonah cuts through that. He says productivity is just simply moving the company closer to its goal.
And for business, there's really only one ultimate goal.
To make money, now and in the future. Simple as that sounds.
But Jonah breaks it down further, right? He gives Alex these 3 key measurements to actually track progress towards that goal.
And these are crucial. They totally reframe how you should look at the operations. First is throughput.
Okay, so throughput is the rate the system generates money through sales. So not just making stuff, but actually selling it and getting paid.
Exactly. Money in, then there's inventory.
Right. Inventory is all the money tied up in stuff the company intends to sell. Raw materials, work in progress, finished goods sitting around. It's invested cash, basically.
Money stuck in the system. And the third one is operational expense.
Which is all the money you spend to turn that inventory into throughput. Salaries, utilities, maintenance, you name it. Money out.
So the real goal becomes clear. Increase throughput.
While simultaneously reducing inventory and operational expense. That's the key, the simultaneously part.
Absolutely. It stops you from, say, slashing operational expense in a way that kills your throughput, or building up useless inventory just to keep machines busy and make local efficiency numbers look good.
Which is what traditional cost accounting sometimes accidentally encourages, right?
Often, yes. It focuses on local optimums instead of the overall system goal.
Okay, so Alex has these concepts, but making them real, understanding how a whole plant works together, that's tough.
That's where the Boy Scout hike comes in. It's such a brilliant analogy. Alex is on this hike with his son's troop.
And he basically lives through the core problems of his factory right there on the trail. He sees dependent events in action.
Yeah, one scout has to finish a section before the next one can start. Just like operations in a plant are sequential. You can't assemble before you have the parts.
And then there's statistical fluctuations.
Which just means everyone and every machine has variations in speed. Sometimes faster, sometimes slower. It's never perfectly consistent.
And the big aha moment is realizing how these two interact. A scout who speeds up can't really make the whole line faster if the person ahead isn't ready.
Right, they just bunch up. But if a scout slows down,
everyone behind them gets delayed, and those delays add up. They don't average out, the negative fluctuations dominate.
And then he spots Herbie.
Herbie, the slowest kid on the hike.
Yep. And Alex realizes, no matter how fast everyone else could go, the entire troop can only move as fast as Herbie.
Herbie is the bottleneck, the constraint.
Exactly. The pace of the whole system is set by its slowest point. It's a profound insight, and it clicks for Alex. His plant must have Herbies.
Bottlenecks that are choking the whole system's ability to generate throughput.
And this understanding leads him to Jonah's 5 focusing steps, a systematic way to manage these constraints.
Okay, let's walk through those. Step 1.
Identify the constraint. Find your Herbie.
For Alex, after some digging, it turns out to be the NCX-10 machine and the heat treat process. Those were the points where work was piling up the most.
Right. And it wasn't obvious at first because other machines might have looked busier based on old efficiency metrics. You have to look at where the flow is actually getting stuck.
Got it. Step 2.
Exploit the constraint. Get the absolute most out of what you have at the bottleneck. Make sure it's never starved for work, never sitting idle during breaks, never wasting time on parts that are already defective, and critically, never working on stuff that isn't needed right now just to keep busy.
So Alex does things like moving quality checks before the bottleneck, not after.
Exactly. Don't waste precious bottleneck time on bad parts.
Yeah.
And staggering lunches so the machine keeps running, making every minute on that constraint count towards actual throughput.
Makes sense. Step 3.
Subordinate. Everything else to the decision made in step 2.
Okay, subordinate, meaning the rest of the plant needs to support the bottleneck.
Precisely. Just like the faster scouts had to slow down and walk behind Herbie, non-bottleneck machines should not produce more parts than the bottleneck can actually handle.
Even if it means those non-bottleneck machines sit idle sometimes, that sounds counterintuitive to traditional thinking.
Totally counterintuitive. But Alex learns that keeping a non-bottleneck busy just making parts the bottleneck can't use yet. Well, Jonah calls it an act of maximum stupidity. It just builds inventory and doesn't help the goal.
Right, it increases inventory and maybe operational expense without increasing throughput. Okay, step 4.
Elevate the constraint. Only after you've fully exploited it and subordinated everything else, if it's still not enough to meet demand, then you look at adding more capacity at the constraint.
So this is when you might buy another machine or find other ways to increase its capacity, like with Herbie.
They took stuff out of his heavy backpack and distributed it among the other scouts, offloading some of the work. It might not always mean buying new equipment. Maybe it's finding an old machine, outsourcing temporarily, improving the existing bottlenecks process.
But only focus the investment there where it actually increases the whole system's capacity.
Correct. Don't just throw money around. Focus it on the leverage point.
And the final step, step 5.
Prevent inertia, go back to step 1. Once you break a constraint, congratulations.
Okay. Another part of the system will now become the slowest. A new bottleneck will appear.
Exactly. So you can't stop. Ongoing improvement means you immediately go back to step 1 and find the new constraint. And critically, don't let inertia set in. Don't let old rules or policies become the new constraint.
Alex realizes that often the constraints aren't even physical machines anymore, but maybe outdated company policies or measurement systems.
That's a huge insight later in the book. The thinking process itself needs to evolve.
And the results for Alex's plant, by following these steps.
Pretty spectacular, really, in just those 3 months.
They wiped out their huge backlog of overdue orders.
Customer satisfaction shot up. Throughput actually doubled.
And inventory
Dropped by 40%.
Yeah.
Huge reduction in tied-up cash.
So the plant went from being on the verge of closure to being solidly profitable.
Yep. And lead times, how long it took to get an order out, were cut from 4 months down to 2. They were even aiming for 4 weeks. A total transformation.
It really shows what happens when you stop fighting symptoms and focus on the root cause, the actual constraint.
And the amazing thing is, this thinking, this theory of constraints, or TOC, it's not just for factories.
Right. The book touches on that, and it's been applied everywhere since, like the auto industry. GM used it.
Yeah, improving throughput, optimizing designs, catching problems earlier. It's been huge in manufacturing, obviously.
But also in surprising places, like an office supply company.
Right. They shifted their focus. Instead of just competing on price, they started offering consignment cabinets, basically. They owned the inventory at the customer site until it was used.
So they changed their business model based on where the constraint actually was, maybe market perception or ease of ordering?
Exactly. And it led to much higher margins and happier customers. It wasn't about production speed anymore.
Even banking, streamlining loan processes.
Improving recruitment for financial advisors, too. Anywhere you have a process flow, you can find bottlenecks. Hospitals managing patient flow.
Reducing wait times, getting patients treated faster and more effectively, improving profitability that way.
It's even used in schools, teaching kids basic problem solving by identifying the limiting factor. It's really a universal thinking tool.
Okay, so boiling this down for you listening, maybe you're an entrepreneur, a manager, anyone trying to improve things, what are the key takeaways?
First and foremost, find your Herbie. Every system, your business included, has a constraint limiting its performance right now. Identify it. Is it sales, marketing, production, a specific person, a policy? Find it.
Then number 2, optimize the whole, not the parts. Resist the urge to make every department look busy or efficient in isolation. Focus improvement efforts on the constraint and make sure everything else supports it.
Remember Alex learning that activating a non-bottleneck just builds waste if the bottleneck can't keep up. A system of local optimums is not an optimal system.
Third, challenge assumptions. Constantly ask why. Why do we do it this way? What if we changed this rule? Don't be afraid to question sacred cows or traditional metrics if they don't align with the real goal, increasing throughput while decreasing inventory and operational expense.
That takes courage, but it's often where the breakthroughs happen. Like Goldratt suggests, it's about applying simple logic, not necessarily genius, just the courage to face inconsistencies.
Fourth, embrace continuous improvement. Finding and breaking constraints isn't a one-off project. It's an ongoing process. As soon as you fix one bottleneck, find the next one. It's a cycle.
And that links to the fifth point: communicate and educate. Make sure your whole team understands the goal, understands the concept of constraints, and knows how their work fits into supporting the bottleneck and increasing overall throughput.
Yeah, if people understand the why, they can make better decisions every day. It empowers everyone to be a problem solver.
Absolutely. It shifts the culture from local efficiencies to system thinking.
So the goal teaches us that really big improvements often come from having the clarity to see the system, identify the leverage point, and then having the courage to act on it logically, seeing the simplicity within the complexity.
It's a powerful message. And maybe a final thought for you to chew on. Once you do break a constraint and the next one emerges, how do you ensure your thinking doesn't become the constraint? How do you maintain that mindset of continuously questioning and improving?
That's a great point to ponder. It's about building that capability into your organization or even just yourself.
Exactly. The process of ongoing improvement isn't just for the factory floor.
Well, if you enjoyed this deep dive and want more actionable insights from the world's most impactful business books, make sure you subscribe to the Business Book Club.
We'll keep bringing you these breakdowns.
We'll be back soon with another deep dive. Thanks for joining us.
Now, that's a wrap for this episode of the Business Book Club. If you enjoyed the ride, make sure to subscribe so you'll never miss our next deep dive. Got a favorite business book you'd love us to explore? Let us know. We're always up for a good read. And hey, don't keep all these insights to yourself. Share this episode with a fellow book lover or your work buddy who's always looking to level up. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and we'll see you in the next episode.